Hey guys, how you doing? It's Sean from Ridesharing101.com. And today, hey, I want to talk to you guys and gals about motivation and staying motivated. Now, today I'm working the day job, and it's an overtime gig. So I'm going to go in, work for about 5 hours, and I'm getting time and a half. So it's a sweet deal. I'm probably not going to rideshare. I'm not going to drive for Uber this morning. But one of the things that I was thinking about is motivation and how to keep yourself motivated. Because even though I'm getting time and a half today and it's good money, I really don't want to work. I'm a gardener. That's a day job. It's pretty strenuous. A lot of big projects all last week. So I've promised that I'm going to go in and work today, and I'm working with volunteers. So I have to work. I'm keeping my word, as I should. Now I don't feel bad about that, but I always forget. I always think, oh, it's good money. That's great. And then when I wake up, I'm like, oh, why did I say that I would take this overtime gig? It's Saturday. It's my one chance to sleep in. And now, I just would rather sleep. My body's achy and, all that. So it's great come payday, in a couple of weeks when I get that extra few $100. Oh, it's sweet. And I'm like, oh yeah. But in the meantime, it's like, ooh, no. So, and the same thing would happen when I would rideshare. I'm a morning person usually anyway. So, getting up at 6 o'clock or 5:30 on a Wednesday is a lot different than getting up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock on a Saturday. And there are some, and each weekend is different. Excuse me. There are some Saturdays you're there at 6 o'clock at like Union Square and you're getting hotel runs like crazy. People are going to the airport and you're like, awesome, cool, right on. And then there are other Saturdays where you're there at 6 o'clock and you're not getting a fare for 40 minutes. And the thing is, if you're, let's say, downtown, really, those are hotels. So people are either going to the airport or maybe they're going to like the wine country or something. But that's it, because people don't really live downtown. So if you want fares, you need to go to the outer avenues, the Richmond district, the Sunset, because those people will either be going downtown because they have to go into work, unfortunately, or they're going to work out, or they're going to South Bay or the North Bay or somewhere, but they're leaving the city. So, there are times where maybe you were like, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were great, so let me take Thursday, Friday off, and I'll just make it up on the weekend. And then you go on the weekend, and it's really slow, and you're like, what's going on? Why is it so slow? The last month has been great, and now it's dead. And, maybe I should go home and take a break and then come back tonight. And then you're like, well, what if it's dead again then tonight? I just have to suffer through. Even if I'm only going to make like $15 an hour for a couple hours, I got to go and see where this takes me. So staying motivated when you're your own boss is very difficult, because if you don't work, you don't get paid. And I know some people that have shared with me that basically what they do is they just start out and they have a goal that they want to make. And I've talked about setting goals, which I think is a really smart thing to do. But they'll be like, hey, I want to make 150, but I can't stop until I make 100. And sometimes that's easy, and sometimes the day just sucks and they're at like 8 hours and they're still at like $75, especially when you get into some of the outlying areas. Like if I talk to people in the Facebook group all over the place. So my friend Linda up in Oregon, has these goals, and they're getting saturated. It's a relatively newer market. They're getting saturated with all these drivers, and a lot of times they might not even make like $50 for like a 10-hour day. It's horrendous. And you're like, well, why would you drive? Because a lot of times that's kind of all that's going on. until something else can kick in, or, until the other job starts. Other areas too, say Merced, college town, not a lot going on. You might work a long time to get just a little bit of money. And then I know there's some sarcastic people who are like, oh yeah, well, that's just a tax. The people that are too stupid, to do math and know that, they're making less than minimum wage. Well, if you don't have a minimum wage job and you're making less than minimum ride sharing, at least you're making something and you can cash out. In other words, you can eat. So, and, there's lots of information on how to make more money, how to try to make more money, and how to side hustle. But when maybe you're starting a really good job, but it doesn't start for a month, and rideshare is all you can do in the meantime, and you need to pay bills, it's hard to stay motivated. So what do you do to stay motivated? I mean, maybe you're making great money. Maybe you're making, $25-30 an hour, but you get a couple of really just not nice passengers in a row. And you're like, well, I got to keep making this money, but now I've sort of been dealing with idiots or drunk passengers or people with dogs that are disrespectful and their dogs shed all over the place. And, my favorite is people with their service animals and they just get in without saying anything. And I'm like, oh yeah, I see you got a dog. Yes, I have a service animal. Oh yeah, that's fine. I wasn't saying anything about that. I was just wondering, why you don't have a blanket or, a lint brush with you. Well, my dog's fine. Your dog is shedding all over the back seat. So the things like that. So basically, this is just a simple video about motivation. How do you stay motivated? Some people just listen to the music that they want to. Other people just tune out their passengers. People do different things, and I'm really interested. How do you stay motivated? What do you do? Do you only work so many hours? Do you work only until a certain amount? What do you do? I would really love to know, because everybody's different. And it's not like, you just roll up and you see like 2 or 3 rideshare drivers and you're like, hey, how do you guys stay motivated? Try that. And the average rideshare driver would be like, what? Are you on drugs? So it's a sarcastic community, and unfortunately it's not as helpful, I think, as it should be. But anyway, so please, again, Sean, Ridesharing101.com. I'm very interested in how you stay motivated and what you do. So let me know. And please subscribe to the channel. Please, click that little bell that lets you know when a new video comes out. And I'd really like to know how you stay motivated when you do rideshare. So thanks so much, and be safe.